Have you ever felt like you're playing a role? Like the person you show to the world, a specific name, a job, a whole story, is not the complete picture? It is a quiet, disturbing feeling, a question that arises in moments of silence. Is this really all there is? This is not a modern concern arising from our fast paced life. It is one of the oldest and deepest questions that we humans ask. For thousands of years, we have been on this quest. Who am I really? And what am I doing in this vast, mysterious universe? We seek answers in success, relationships, knowledge, and new experiences. But often, these things make us feel a little empty, as if we are just redecorating a room we never truly inhabited. We collect identities like outfits: professional, parent, artist, friend. But deep down, the question remains: who is the one wearing all these outfits? This question is not to be ignored. It is a sacred invitation. Centuries ago, in the ancient forests of India, sages and seers began the supreme journey, the inward journey to seek the ultimate. Whatever they found was written in an incredible collection of texts called the Upanishads. And today, we are exploring one of the most revered texts among them, the Taittiriya Upanishad. This ancient text is not about simple sayings or comforting beliefs. It is a direct, practical roadmap to understanding the essence of your existence. It holds not only the key to a philosophical idea, but also the key to a vibrant reality that can lead to ultimate freedom and a meaning far beyond the everyday. So, let us uncover the eternal wisdom of the Taittiriya Upanishad and reveal the mysteries of our true self. Ancient context: a river of eternal knowledge. So, where does this incredible scripture come from? The Upanishads are part of a large collection of sacred literature called the Vedas, which are the foundation of Hindu philosophy. The Vedas are vast, encompassing everything from hymns and rituals to profound philosophical ideas. The Upanishads come right at the end. They are known as Vedanta, which literally means the end or culmination of the Vedas. Think of the Vedas as a great river. The early parts relate to rituals and prayers for living in harmony with the world, external life. The Upanishads are the deepest, most powerful currents of that river. They shift meditation away from the external world and focus on the inner universe within each of us. They call us to move beyond merely worshipping the Supreme Being, to experiencing the Supreme Being within our own consciousness. This is a revolutionary shift from ritual to self-realization. Its core message is not to believe in something blindly, but to know directly through one's own experience. The Taittiriya Upanishad is one of the principal Upanishads, meaning that its insights are fundamental to Vedanta philosophy. It is said to be named after the sage Taittiriya. A traditional and very symbolic story tells how the great sage Yajnavalkya had a dispute with his guru and vomited out the learned knowledge. Other sages came as Taittiriya birds and consumed this sacred knowledge, which then became part of the Vedas. This story highlights how powerful this knowledge was considered to be. The Upanishad itself is beautifully organized into 3 sections, or chapters. Shikshavalli. This first part is about education or instruction. It includes things like phonetics and prayer. But more importantly, it gives essential moral advice to the student of knowledge. It emphasizes the importance of speaking the truth, living religiously, and giving God-like respect to one's parents and teachers. Essentially, it prepares your mind and character for the deeper truths to come. Brahmanandavalli. This is the creeper of the bliss of Brahman. Here, the Upanishad directly dives into the big questions. It defines the supreme reality, Brahman, and introduces the incredible concept of the five sheaths or Pancha Koshas, which we will understand shortly. Bhrigu. This final section reinforces teachings through a captivating story. Sage Bhrigu asks his father Varuna to teach him about reality. This tale shows us the true process of self-examination and meditation, through which abstract philosophy feels personal and real. So, the Taittiriya Upanishad is not a dusty old scripture. It is a complete course for self-realization, which is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. It makes a bold promise in its opening verse. Brahmavid apnoti param. One who knows Brahman attains the supreme. And this is not a promise for an afterlife. It is a possibility for this very life. Great declaration. Brahma, the fabric of reality. At the core of all Upanishadic thoughts is a vast world-changing idea. Brahman. In the Brahmanandavalli, the Taittiriya Upanishad gives one of the most famous definitions of this supreme reality. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. In these three words lies the key to the entire universe. The meaning of Satyam is truth or reality. But it is not a factual truth like the sky is blue. It points to what truly exists, which remains unchanged in the past, present, and future. Our bodies, our thoughts, the world, all of these are constantly changing. They are real, but their reality is temporary. Brahman, as Satyam, is that complete, fundamental existence on which all these temporary realities appear and disappear. It is the being of everything. Jnana means knowledge or consciousness. It is not knowledge about something, like science or history. Jnanam points to the principle of awareness itself. It is that infinite, self-illuminated consciousness that makes all knowing possible. Generally, you have a knower, you, the known, a book, and the act of knowing. Brahman is beyond that as Jnanam. It is consciousness itself, the light that is present whether you are awake, dreaming, or in deep, dreamless sleep. Anantam means infinite or limitless. And it is not just about being very, very big. Brahman is infinite because it is free from all limits. It is not limited by space, it is everywhere. It is not limited by time, it is eternal. And most importantly, it is not limited by any other entity because there is no other entity. If something else existed besides Brahman, then Brahman would be limited by it. So Anantam tells us that Brahman is one non-dual reality. So, what is Brahman? It is infinite conscious existence. It is not a personal God in some distant heaven who rules over us. Rather, Brahman is the universe itself. This idea is famously expressed in the Chandogya Upanishad with the phrase, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. All this indeed is Brahman. The Taittiriya Upanishad shares this very Advaita, non-dual perspective. The wood of this table and the awareness listening to these words, in their deepest essence, are the same one reality. Brahman is the ocean, and we are not merely drops in it. We are the ocean itself, appearing as separate waves for a moment. This changes everything. If everyone and everything is an expression of this one divine reality, then the idea that we are fundamentally separate is an illusion. The compassion and interconnectedness that modern thinkers talk about find their ultimate philosophical root here. But the Upanishads do not just ask us to believe this. They declare it as truth and then give us a way to experience it for ourselves. Inner twist. The self located in the cave of the soul and heart. If Brahman is the infinite reality of the entire universe, then where do we begin to find it? Do we need a spaceship? The Upanishads give a fascinating and intimate answer. They say that this supreme reality is hidden in a cave, hidden in the cave of your own heart. The infinite fabric of existence is not out there. It is in the deepest, most secret part of your own being. This inherent personal expression of the universal Brahman is called the soul. The soul is your true self. And here we come to the most important teaching in the entire Vedanta, the great equation. The soul itself is Brahman. Your innermost, true self is the same as the supreme, universal reality. A famous line from another Upanishad, Tat Tvam Asi, means you are that. You are not a limited, mortal being trying to reach a distant God. You are that divine, eternal, blissful reality. You have simply forgotten temporarily. It is exactly the opposite of how we usually see ourselves. We identify with our body, thoughts, emotions, history, and personality. We think, I am this person with these strengths and weaknesses. Vedanta says that all of this is only temporary, changing layers. They are like clouds passing in the sky. The soul itself is the sky, the vast, unchanging, ever-present space of awareness where all experiences of life occur.
The soul is a silent witness, a witness that observes the drama of life without getting entangled in it. It is the same consciousness that knew you as a child, knows you now, and will know every moment of the future. The body changes, the mind changes, the world changes, but the fundamental I, pure awareness that observes all these changes, is constant. That is the soul. The realization of the soul is not about becoming something new. It is about being free from everything you think you are, so that you can see the bright truth that you have always been. It is a process of subtraction, not addition. According to the Upanishads, the spiritual journey is about peeling away these layers of false identification until we become established in the knowledge of our true self. And here the Taittiriya Upanishad gives us our most practical tool, the theory of the 5 sheaths, or Pancha Kosha, the journey of unveiling, Pancha Kosha. The Taittiriya Upanishad gives us a magnificent model of who we are, viewing us as beings made up of 5 concentric layers or sheaths, the Pancha Kosha. A kosha is like a sheath that hides a sword. These are not physical layers, but layers of identity that cover the light of our true self, the soul. The spiritual journey is the process of taking our awareness from the innermost layer to the most subtle, in order to discover the treasure within. This journey is perfectly illustrated in the story of Bhrigu, who meditates through each layer in search of Brahman. Annamaya Kosha, the sheath of food. The outermost layer is the Annamaya Kosha, the physical body. Anna means food. This layer is literally made of food. It is born from the food eaten by our parents, nourished by the food we eat, and when we die, it returns to the earth to become food for other things. This is usually where our identity begins and ends. I am my body. I am tall. I am short. I am healthy. I am sick. In his meditation, Bhrigu first concludes that food must be Brahman, because everything is born from it and nourished by it. But his father Varuna tells him to investigate further. This is because the body, though wonderful,
is not the ultimate truth. It is temporary. It changes and dies. It is an object that we see, not the one who sees it. Who is aware of the body? The journey must go deeper.
Pranamaya Kosha, the sheath of pranic energy. Going one layer deeper, Bhrigu finds the Pranamaya Kosha, which is the sheath of vital energy. Prana is the life force that animates the body. It is our breath, but it is also the subtle energy flowing through every cell, driving all our biological functions. Without prana, the body is just inert matter. This energy field is subtler than the body. When we feel alive and full of life, we are connected to this sheath. Bhrigu concludes that prana must be Brahman. But then, Varuna sends him back to meditate again. Why? Because prana is also mechanical. It is still something we are aware of. We can observe our breath. Our energy levels go up and down. It is still a process, not the silent witness of that process. Who is aware of this energy? Manomaya Kosh, the sheath of the mind. The next layer is the mental sheath, the mental covering. Manas means mind. It is the realm of our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and memories. It is a continuous chatter of doubts, desires, joys, and anxieties. The mind takes data from the senses and weaves it into our subjective experience of the world. Most of us remain trapped in this sheath our entire lives, identifying with every chaotic thought and feeling. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm anxious. Bhrigu meditates and concludes that the mind itself must be Brahman, because the mind directs our actions. But his father's instruction is the same. Investigate further. The mind, too, is just a tool. It is restless and can be observed. There is a deep awareness that can see the mind's play unfolding. Who is it that knows the mind is thinking? Vijnanamaya Kosha, the cover of intellect. Beyond the noisy mind lies the scientific cell, the sheath of intellect. Science is the faculty that discriminates, judges, and decides. While the mind is merely a random flow of thoughts, the intellect is what organizes them and gives them meaning. It is here that our sense of I, the ego, resides. It is the firm belief that I am the doer, I am the thinker. This is the seat of our personality. Through even deeper contemplation, Bhrigu concludes that this intellect must be Brahman. And yet, for the fourth time, Varuna sends him back. Intellect, though powerful, is still limited. It thinks in terms of duality, right and wrong, truth and falsehood. It can be clouded by ignorance. It is the source of ego, the same sense of separation that covers our true nature. What lies beyond even our own intellect? Anandamaya Kosh, the sheath of bliss. In the end, Bhrigu pierces the veil of intellect and reaches the blissful sheath, the covering of bliss. Bliss means pure joy. It is the most subtle, innermost layer. We taste it in deep, dreamless sleep, when the mind and ego are shut down, and we remain in a peaceful, pleasant state of emptiness. When we wake up, we say, I slept very well. I knew nothing. That peaceful bliss is a reflection of the joy of our true self. Bhrigu realizes that bliss itself is Brahman. And here, his father does not send him back. Bhrigu has reached the source. However, later, Vedanta clarifies that this bliss sheath is also not the self itself,
but the ultimate, most transparent veil. It is an experience of bliss, which still implies a subtle separation between the experiencer and the experienced. The self is not that which feels bliss. Its very nature is bliss.
The soul is pure, formless, witnessing consciousness beyond all five sheaths. It is the screen on which the film of the five sheaths plays. By systematically withdrawing our identification from each layer, body to breath, to mind to intellect, and finally to the experience of bliss, we can become calm and steady as the witness in our true nature. Practical application, living knowledge.
So, this is not just some abstract philosophy to think about. It is a practical guide to transform your life. The real key is to change where you place your sense of self. The journey through the five sheaths is a roadmap for self-inquiry. The main practice is to develop the witness, that is, the perspective of the witness. Here is a simple practice inspired by this teaching that you can try right now. Sit quietly and close your eyes. First, bring your awareness to your physical body, the Annamaya Kosha. Feel the sensations, the contact with your chair, the air on your skin. Accept them. Then, gently remind yourself, I am aware of this body, but I am not this body. The body is happening within my awareness. After this, bring your attention to your breath, the flow of pranic energy. Feel your chest rising and falling. See that life force moving within you. Then, affirm to yourself, I am aware of this breath, this energy, but I am not this energy. This prana is happening within my awareness. Now turn your awareness towards the screen of your mind, the mental sheath. Observe the thoughts that arise. Just watch them come and go like clouds, without getting distracted. Remind yourself, I am aware of these thoughts and emotions, but I am not these thoughts. The mind is happening within my awareness. Take one step deeper, into the intellect, into the scientific cell. Become aware of the feeling of the I that analyzes this experience. Focus your attention on that subtle feeling of the one who is doing the meditation. Then, gently say to yourself, I am aware of this intellect, this I thought, but I am not this limited ego. This intellect is a tool within my awareness. When you practice this, you begin to loosen the grip of false identification. You create a space between the seer and the seen. In that space, there is freedom. You realize that you are not the ever-changing states of your body or mind. You are the unchanging awareness in which all of these appear. This changes daily life. When anger arises, you do not need to be angry. You can see it as a wave of energy in your mind and let it pass. When there is pain in the body, you can witness the sensation without all the extra mental suffering that comes from the story, I am in pain. You begin to live with a deep sense of inner peace, because now you are connected not to the restless waves of experience, but to the deep, calm ocean of awareness itself. We began our journey with a very modern problem of today. The problem of fragmented, broken experiences, and arrived at the ancient solution presented by Advaita Vedanta. We understood this wonderful proclamation that the supreme truth, Brahman, is an infinite, conscious, eternal reality. And this universal Brahman is identical to our innermost self. Through the five sheaths, we have a practical map to see whom we have considered as the self, and how, layer by layer, by crossing those coverings, we can reach our true form. The final message of the Taittiriya Upanishad fills us with hope and inner strength. It reminds us that what we are seeking is not somewhere outside. It is here, within us. Peace, freedom, and meaning, which we are searching for, are not external possessions, but our inherent nature. The Upanishad says, "One who knows the bliss of Brahman is not afraid of anything." When we realize this truth, the fundamental fears of life, such as fear of scarcity, fear of loss, fear of death, all vanish. We understand that we are not helpless characters in this life drama, but the witnessing consciousness, who is the writer, the actor, and the spectator all at once.
You are, at this very moment, complete, whole, free, and infinite. If this exploration has touched your inner self, stay connected with us on this spiritual journey. Subscribe and like this video so that this eternal knowledge reaches those who wish to touch these depths in their lives. Thank you.